Welcome back to Build First, the Authors Foundation podcast. I'm Paula Banks, and this is the show for authors who are done guessing and ready to build something that actually holds weight. I'm glad you're here. Now let's get into it. So today we are on Pillar 3, Product Pathway. And I want to kick off the episode by asking a question. What happens after someone buys your book? Not during the transaction, but after it. When the order is confirmed and the reader is, waiting for your book to be shipped, what's next for them in that moment? What is the next step that you've designed for them to take? And where does that next step take them? So if your answer is you don't know or nowhere, that is a gap. And it could be an expensive gap in an author business because it means every sale you make is a relationship that starts and stops in the same moment. So the reader found you, bought from you, and then the door closed right on behind them because there was nothing on the other side of it. There was nowhere for them to go. So you're probably thinking, Paula, what exactly is a product pathway anyway? Well, a product pathway is a simple mapped journey of what a reader can do next once they enter your ecosystem. So it's not about having tons of products. It's about having intentional next steps that serve your reader and sustain your business at the same time. So for a children's book author, a product pathway could look something like this. First is their backlist or forthcoming work. So if you have more than one book, every book is a pathway into the next one. That only works, though, if readers know the next book exists and know how to find it, which is exactly what your email list and your website are designed to do. Now, a reader who finishes book 1 and gets a well-timed email about book 2 is a reader who stays around. But a reader who finishes book 1 and hears nothing about book 2 is a reader who's going to move on to the next author. The second is institutional relationships, like schools, libraries, nations, churches. These buyers don't buy once, they buy repeatedly and they refer. And there's nothing like a good referral, but they need a pathway designed for them specifically. That means a clear process for booking, bulk pricing structure, educator or group resource that makes your book easier to bring into a community setting. If an institution has to figure out how to work with you, most of them will not. But if you hand them a clear process, most of them will jump at the opportunity to do so. The third is your services or extended offers. So that's if you have them. Now, that would be like school visits, speaking engagement, workshops, author events. These are high value extensions of your author brand, and they belong in your product pathway, not as afterthoughts, but as an intentional offering that readers and institutions can find and access. So one thing that I have noticed, I see it a lot with authors is that, again, they're doing the work. They have a good book. Readers are responding to it. They know where to find them, but there's nothing connecting that first purchase to anything else. No series information, no way to book a visit for a school, no email list capturing. The readers who loved it enough, who want more, they have no way to get more. Everything exists in isolation, and the result is a body of work that isn't growing itself. It's just sitting there doing nothing. And that is not a talent problem. It is a design problem, and a pathway is something that you can build. So here's a question I want to leave with you and want you to think about after the episode. If a reader finishes your book today and wants to go further, what's the next thing you have for them? Think about that now. What is their next step? So if you don't have a clear answer, that is your pillar 3 gap. That is what you need to build next. So that is a wrap on today's episode. But before you go, if you are not sure where you are in your author journey right now, take the free author reality check. It'll take you about 5 minutes or less, and it will show you exactly which of the 5 pillars needs your attention first. The link is in the show notes. And if something hit you in this episode and you would like to share it with another author in your circle, please do. I would love for you to do so. That is the best way to grow the community, one author at a time. And in our next episode, we will be moving into pillar 4. Process. We're talking about the systems that keep your business running when you're not manually holding it all together. So if you've ever felt like your author business only works when you're actively managing every single piece of it, that episode is for you. I'm Paula Banks. Remember, build first, and then let visibilities do its job. And I will see you in the next episode.